All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert Gabriel. I'm the President and CEO of Microwize Technology. And today we're going to talk about the new features of version 29. I have also Kim Burgess with me. She's going to be helping me with some of the Q&A. There's just a disclaimer, anything you learned in this meeting or any other meeting, you need to verify yourself. Microwize cannot be held responsible of any loss of data or revenue. This meeting is being recorded and it will be shared publicly with everybody. Now, the agenda today is we talking about the new features of version 29. Some of the new features are going to be the integration of payment, credit card, and ACH. We'll talk about that, and we're going to talk about the out-of-pocket estimator tool, improve the multi-link and patient engagement tools. I have a guest with us is presenting a few new features for us, and we're going to be open for Q&A. Okay, so the first features I'm going to show you, actually, I have MEDISOFT available here live. So this is version 29, and one of the new features is in multi-link. You're going to have, so when you're creating a multi-link code, you will be able to have, let's say, 12 diagnoses, which is something that we had for a while, but now with multi-link, you can pick and choose which diagnosis goes with which procedure. So this is great for surgeons and great for anybody that does multiple diagnoses with multiple CPT code. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a quick demo of the product presentation. Then I will come back and show you live. Okay, so let's take a minute to take the quick.
CGM MEDISOFT is the gold standard for hardworking practices, engage patients, increase collections, and streamline operations with MEDISOFT version 29. Now with MEDISOFT version 29, the practice management solution you know and love is even better. New to MEDISOFT version 29, practices can enjoy a fully integrated credit card and ACH payment processing option. Set up and automate monthly patient payments more easily with CGM Pay. It's all at your fingertips thanks to the new MEDISOFT dashboard view. Update payment methods, print and reprint receipts, save multiple payment types, including a patient's preferred payment method, manage refunds and voids, and integrate with the popular patient statements offered through our own trusted AMEDIX clearinghouse. The new patient responsibility estimate lets users provide a good faith cost estimate for planned procedures after quickly running a patient's insurance eligibility for the planned procedure codes. In MEDISOFT version 29, this service expands for self-pay and uninsured patients. Save time with pre-configured multi-link transaction.
Okay. So let's discuss it as we go through it here. So the first feature is MEDISOFT now has their own credit card processing. So if you have Bill Flash, the Bill Flash was the only product. It's a third-party product that's integrated with MEDISOFT payment. So now MEDISOFT, they created their own. Now, if you have Bill Flash and it's working, of course, you don't need to do anything. If you don't have anything and you want to add something, now you have two choices between Bill Flash, which is the third party, and the MEDISOFT integrated payment processing. Now, what's different about this one? It can use ACH. So what does ACH means? It's almost like a direct withdrawal from the bank account. And usually the fee is very small. So something like 25 cents, 35 cents, something like that. Where credit card it could be 3%, 4%, depending on if it's American Express or Visa. So the 3% or 3.5% or 4%, they add up very high at the end of the year. If you have a high volume, of course. So let's say if you collect $1 million per year on credit card, that could be add up to $30,000 to $40,000 a year. So by processing the same thing through ACH, that will reduce your cost from $30,000, $40,000 to under $1,000 a year. So that's substantial saving. I'm sure many of you will have that saving. Now, in the old days, patient came to the practice with a checkbook and they wrote a check, but unfortunately, nobody carries a check. And my motto is if you don't collect your money on the spot, it takes 8 times the effort to collect it. You got to send a statement, you got to make a phone call. And of course, there's services now that can send a text message to the patient, which is great. But if I can collect that money on the spot while the patient is there, and collect it, that will save administrative time. That will save you a lot of money. Then have to chase the patient to make that payment later on. And that will also save you a lot of money if you're using ACH. So ACH is becoming the new trend to replace credit card because credit card is very costly. Now, take credit card, for most of you probably pays me by credit card. It's very convenient, but patient treatment is different from business to business. You doing business to consumer, so that's a little bit different. Patient will understand if they have to pay by ACH because usually it's not a huge amount of money anyway, but it adds up for you. So that's the first. So it has a normal credit card. So what also changed in that new credit card processing? Now, I don't need to tell you this. There's a law. I forgot the name of the exact law, but you're not allowed to keep credit card on file where people can read it. So I've seen practices or people where they keep it in a spreadsheet or people write it in a small book. That's not allowed. So if you're going to keep, like when you give me your credit card, I don't see, once you give it to me and I make a process of the payment, I don't get to see the credit card number. I might be able to see the last 4 digits. I might be able to see if it's a Visa, American Express, or MasterCard. I might be able to see the expiration date, but I no longer see the whole credit card number. So if you see the whole credit card number, that's not compliant and you cannot do that. So that's something really important. So the beauty about this service, if it's this service through MEDISOFT or Bill Flash, the credit card it stays on file and you only get to see the last 4 digits. So now the patient can choose which card they have. Maybe they're running a balance. So maybe let's say the patient gave you 3 different credit cards, American Express, Visa, and MasterCard, or maybe 2 Visas. Now they might be running a balance on one of them. They might tell you, oh, you know what? That card that ends with 1122, don't use it. Use the other one that ends with 5555. And so this way, you will be able to have multiple credit card for the patient, and the patient can pick and choose which one to use. So you get the ACH and you got multiple type of payment. Now, then the other feature that we saw in the video, if you just joined us, this meeting is being recorded and we will share the meeting with everybody in a few days. The other feature,
Robert?
yes.
Sorry, we had a question come up about the credit card processing. Do you want to address
Sure.
it now or do you want to wait till the
Yeah.
end?
Yeah,
Okay.
please, let's do it now.
So Andrea asked, how would this work for a billing company with multiple providers? Would it be set up based on the individual provider's bank account?
Yes. So if you're a billing company and you have, let's say, 10 different practices or 10 different providers with different practices, so the money actually goes to the provider. It doesn't go to the biller or doesn't go to anybody else. So that goes into the provider or the practice bank account. So within each file in MEDISOFT, there will be a setup with the account, so you can have multiple accounts with different provider, and that money it will go to the provider's bank account. Does that answer your question, Andrea?
Andrea said that did answer her question.
Okay, great. So the next thing is, which is also a new regulation, it's called the No Surprise Act. In the old days, we said, okay, you know what? We're going to do the procedure. We're going to send your claim to the insurance company. We'll see how much the insurance company is going to pay. Then we'll balance bill you for the rest. So now a lot of patients being burned by things like that because they were surprised that the insurance company didn't pay or paid so little, and they get surprised. So there's something called the No Surprise Act, and the patient has the right to know ahead of time how much is going to be paying out of pocket. So now with the new feature in MEDISOFT, it's a new type of eligibility verification. It will estimate what is the insurance is going to pay. And MEDISOFT now has something new called the good faith statement, which is going to take the information from the eligibility verification and based on what procedures you are performing, and it's going to generate a good faith statement, and it's going to tell the patient, or you're going to be able to print to the patient how much is going to be estimating the out-of-pocket is, and that's compliant with the No Surprise Act. So let's continue the video.
For the planned procedure code. In MEDISOFT version 29, this service expands for self-pay and uninsured patients. Save time with pre-configured multi-lane transactions for common procedure bundles and make adjustments for coverage, co-pays, white insurance, remaining deductibles, and more. Providers can print and save patient estimates and have the option to tailor them with customizable messaging, and a web link for prepayments for deposit. Transaction entry alerts are more powerful in MEDISOFT version 29. A new date-based warning message alerts users if they enter dates of service outside of specified parameters, saving time and reducing errors. This enhancement is very helpful at the beginning and end of each year as practices transition to new CPT and ICD-10 codes. Want to make a change? Copy existing messaging rules to easily assist in creating a new alert. We've added diagnosis codes to multi-link transactions.
So the new alert is based on, you can program MEDISOFT to take tips from one of your top billers or you as a master biller, and you can have an alert which says, when you're billing this insurance company with this CPT code and you have this diagnosis, you must have this modifier. So you can build those alerts inside MEDISOFT. So there's no such a thing now as says, only me can build this. You can program the system to follow your knowledge, and now many people can use that knowledge that you feed the system to alert them when they make a mistake, when that particular event happened, this insurance company with this provider or this CPT code or this diagnosis that can have a modifier, or you cannot have this CPT code with that CPT code, or you cannot have this CPT code with this diagnosis. So things like that, you can program the system and the system will learn and give you alerts based on anything that you might do that doesn't follow what you train the system to do. So that's very powerful. Okay, let's continue that. That's going to be the multi-link that I was showing you before. So multi-link is when you have the same, more than two or more procedures that happens in tandem together. So let's say if you're doing workers' comp and when a new patient comes in, you check to multiple things and you do multiple procedures, so you can have the system learn that. Or if you're doing surgeries, or that you do multiple things together with the same surgery over and over again. So you can have multiple diagnoses, multiple CPT code, and now with the new version, you can link certain CPT code with certain diagnoses. We had the multi-link for a long time, but it has to be always the same diagnosis. Now you can pick and choose which diagnosis you can have with the different CPT code.
In the MEDISOFT version 29, this enhancement makes it even easier to create charge sets and quickly generate claims that include diagnosis. This improvement eliminates manual entry and the claim rejections that stem from common diagnosis code typos. So much is new in MEDISOFT version 29. To learn more about the MEDISOFT gold standard, contact us at 201-322-4100. Don't compromise. Go Microwize.
Okay, so let's.
CGM MEDISOFT is the gold standard for hardworking practices. Engage patients.
Now, many of you are always looking for a way to bring new patients, or maybe to have patient book appointment while nobody at the office, or maybe you're at lunchtime. So we created a new product called Vozita. Vozita integrates with MEDISOFT, and it will allow patients to, from your website, they can book you an appointment, or you can find new patients by people searching for a provider near their town or taking their insurance. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this into Rosemary Bright. Rosemary, she's the Director of Business Development at Vozita, and she's going to do a quick demo for you about Vozita and how it can help you practice, attract new patient. And before we move that, is there any questions about the stuff that we talked about before? I see a couple of questions coming in.
Yeah, we have two here from Neha. It says, can you demo how to set up the ACH feature, and when will version 29 be available?
Great question. So version 29 should be available by the end of next month. We normally don't deliver it right away because we like to wait a month before, well, after beta. So it's in beta testing now. Actually, the version that I just showed you on the screen is beta testing. So I would say maybe second week in January, give or take. If you're on Microwize Cloud, the MEDISOFT, you will get it automatically. We just need to schedule the upgrade. There's no additional fee for it. If you don't have the cloud and you like to join, we do have an offer. I think it's 3 months free. And if you don't do cloud because you maybe have a small practice and you're on premise, there's also a nice discount. So please contact your account manager or let us know in the chat. We'll have somebody reach out to you today. Okay. So sorry, Rosemary, to interrupt. I should have addressed those things before. What's any other questions?
The only one was about Neha had asked if we could do a demo for how to set up the ACH feature, and we do have somebody else saying that they'd like to see a demo of processing payments through the MEDISOFT calendar.
Okay, so the one was the ACH. What was the second one?
A demo of how to process the payments through the calendar through office hours.
Okay, so I'm going to have somebody reach out because the payment processing is not something that I can show everybody because it needs to have a real bank account. It has to be a real practice, but you can process payment in multiple ways, either by receiving payment from transaction entry, just like you do today. There will be a new feature to take credit card and it will be prompted through the credit card, or the other way is through the scheduler. So if a patient is on the scheduler and they're checking in, you can right click and say collect copay. How are you going to collect the copay? You can either choose cash, checks, or credit card or ACH. So if you say credit card, it will process the credit card. And if it says ACH, it will process the ACH. So it's a very straightforward, but to see it in action, it has to be a real practice with a real bank account. It's hard to show that. But we'll have somebody reach out to you and show you a demo for your practice. It's really nice and easy. You're going to love it. Now, a lot of people, they have a credit card company already. You don't have to change that. You can have more than one. When you fully happy with integrated into MEDISOFT, which is going to save you steps, because the way you're doing it now, you process it on a manual machine outside of the system. Then you go on again and receive it in MEDISOFT. Now, by having it inside MEDISOFT, regardless if it's Bill Flash or the one that now done by MEDISOFT CGM, it saves you steps, okay? So you don't have to do it manually, then do it in the system again. By doing it in the system, it's processing the credit card or the ACH in the same time that you're receiving the money, just like you normally do now. Okay, you're gonna love it, trust me, it's really good. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, we had another one from Rachel. Will you be charged if you process a payment through MEDISOFT?
So it's the same fee that you probably pay now. So if you're taking credit card, it will be the same fee. So there's usually a small transaction fee and a percentage. It depends on the card. You might be paying anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5, or if it's American Express, it might go up to 4. It's the same type of fee. Now, if you've been paying credit card fees and you want to accept ACH, that will reduce your bank fees tremendously. So instead of paying, I'm going to use 3.5 as an average. Instead of paying 3.5, so let's say if you're charged $1 million a year on credit card, that can turn out to be $35,000 a year in fees. Now, if you take ACH and let's say all $1 million is now collected on ACH, you save that. You're probably going to cost you maybe $1,000 a year instead of $35,000. So you save $34,000. I'm sure your practice can benefit from such a saving. So ACH can save you a tremendous amount of money. And ACH is almost like taking a check that that money goes directly into your bank account. There's no credit card fees. Now, so ACH will save, it's almost like credit card or taking a check, but it will save you a tremendous amount of money for credit card fees. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. Heidi did get back to it. She said very slow when entering charges. I called several times. I find it very slow even before the other issue. I worked with MEDISOFT for many years and this is very slow.
Okay, what is slow, Kim? Is it MEDISOFT slow or the credit card processing is slow?
MEDISOFT, she's saying when entering charges, it's slow.
Okay, so when entering charges is slow, that could be a couple of things. There could be something wrong with the data, or some people are showing they're not showing a document number. What does that mean? When you get into MEDISOFT, they see all the transaction on the screen, and that slows down the screen tremendously. So there is an option in MEDISOFT to enable document number, and that will separate each visit transaction separately from seeing the whole thing one shot. When you see the whole thing one shot, yes, the payment processing can be slow. If you already have the document number and it's slow, there's something wrong with the data. So I'll have somebody call you to take a look at the data, and maybe there's data corruption that will make it slow. Receiving payment should not be slow unless you don't have the document number enabled, or you might be having a data corruption.
Okay, we have another one. Will version 29 to make it so the app works with the newest version of Apple?
Okay, so that our cloud is compatible, does not matter if you're using Apple or PC. So our cloud, we configured in a way that will work for Apple or PCs. So as a matter of fact, what I was showing you a minute ago, I use Apple. I might give it away from the icons at the bottom, but I use Apple. I'm a big Apple fan. So the MEDISOFT cloud works with Apple, but not the MEDISOFT itself. It's the way that we configure it to work. So
I
if you want
think
to
he's
use
asking
Apple,
about the MEDISOFT app for the phone.
yes, it works. The app always works with Apple. So did anything change that I'm not aware of?
I believe the last I heard, the newest update of the phone on the Apple iPhone, the app broke.
Okay. So maybe they were not fast enough to update the app to be compatible with iPhone 16. Okay, I just picked up my iPhone 16 like 2 days ago. I will test it and I will report it. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. I was not aware of it, but I will address it. Thank you.
We have another, how are the fees deducted? Fees go into detail as the process if it's done inside of MEDISOFT. I think this is in reference to the payment processing.
So the fees is not going to be deducted inside MEDISOFT. So it will work exactly like any credit card processing or any bank that you work with. So for example, let's say if I am a patient and I pay you $500, you receive $500 in MEDISOFT. If I paid by ACH, you will get the $500 in your bank, but there will be maybe 35 cents transaction fee. If I pay by credit card, you might be getting something like $17 fee. It depends on the bank that you're using and the credit card that the patient used. So ACH is a lot less money, but there's nothing changes in MEDISOFT. All those deduction or fees, they come on a statement with your bank account. So that doesn't mess up your MEDISOFT. If you're charging $500, you will be receiving a $500. But depending on your credit card company or your bank, you might see a $500 in your bank account, then a fee deducted, and some of it, instead of they give you $500, they'll give you $485. I'm just making up numbers. So that has nothing to do with MEDISOFT. The ACH or the bank fees or the credit card fees, that's on a statement from the bank, not from MEDISOFT.
We also have, are these payments entered manually, not through a website?
Yes, it's entered inside MEDISOFT. So you know what? Let me just pretend I'm showing you. Let me share my screen.
You had made, yeah. Are you able to take it back, Robert?
Yeah. So let's say I had a patient. So the patient is, let's say, Amy. And Amy came in today. So when you right click here, okay, you will say there will be an option here called enter copay. Okay. So when you click enter copay, it will take you here. And let's say if I have the procedure 99213, and when you're receiving the payment, so let's say the payment here by, don't not make that many code, please. This is just a bad data. So let's say it's a credit card payment. And when you enter in the credit card payment, let's say it's $20. Okay. So you see this here says CGM pay. So when you click on this, I don't have this, of course, it will process the credit card from inside MEDISOFT. You don't need to go to a website. You don't need to do anything. You will charge the credit card now. And you can actually enable the security on who's allowed to receive credit card payment. So if somebody's not supposed to receive credit card payment, they will have access denied, just like I got here. So it will happen from inside MEDISOFT, regardless of a credit card or an ACH. So it will happen just like I'm showing you here. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, yes. Okay, let's see. So we do have a couple from Heidi. This was the thing before asking about slowness. She says she doesn't have the document open, but she needs to have the dates open. They ran a file.
Okay, let me ask you, Heidi, look at my screen. You see this document number? If you don't see this document number, not this exact number, but if you don't see a field that says document number, that could be the reason why your system is slow, because you see it like this, like you're going to be seeing everything in one place with no document. The document number is dividing each visit separately. But if you don't see the document number, that means when you get into a transaction, you see the whole history together, which is the reason why, like here, you'll see it like that. So you see, if I have the document number on and I want to see it the way that maybe you're seeing it, I will turn this on and that will show me all the transactions together in one screen, which is why it's slow, because you're seeing everything within that case, everything in the same case together. So that's not recommended. This was improved over 15 years ago, and we've been having the document number to separate the different visits. But if you're not seeing the document number, that's not recommended, and that's probably why your system is running very slow when you receive payment. So it's a yes or no question. Do you see a document number on your transaction entry or no?
She said yes.
So you do see the document number. So if you see document number and it's slow receiving payment, I will need to call our support, and let's check your data for data corruption, because it should not
Heidi, if
be.
you can send us, just go ahead and put your practice name, or you can send it to me privately, and I'll get support to reach out to you. I'll have a ticket open so that we can go over all your questions and take a look at what's going on in your practice. We also have one. Is there a way to hide unused or inactive codes to reduce coding errors?
Yes. So when you have a CPT code or diagnosis code, so let's say here, I'm going to use a procedure code. And let's say I'm going to have this code here to be inactive. So when I'm double clicking on this and I make it inactive, okay. So when I make it inactive, when I right click my mouse here, there's an option here to show or hide inactive. So here, now I see the inactive and I can hide my inactive. So when you are billing inactive code, it should be hidden, okay? But if you use it, it will prompt you on the screen that you're using an inactive code.
We also have, do we have to set up with our bank for the credit card and ACH before we start?
Okay, so when you enroll for the ACH and credit card, there will be a person that's going to be holding your hand, and they're going to be asking you for voided check and bank information, all of that. It's not something going to be you doing it yourself. There will be somebody's holding hand, you will be signing paperwork, and they will be doing everything for you. You don't have to do anything. So most people will have the ACH and the credit card go into the same bank account, or they can go to different bank accounts, but somebody's going to be holding your hand for that. You don't have to worry about how it gets done. So somebody's going to set it up in MEDISOFT. Somebody's going to set it up with where the money goes and all of that.
Okay. We also have, can the document number feature be activated at any time or only when the
Yes,
practice
so
is set up?
the document number can be deactivated anytime, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I have the document number activated, the easiest way to get it the way you see it now is when I click on, let's say, Ben Affleck. If I turn this on, it will show me all the transaction like you've seen it now So that will show you all the transaction that you see it now. Let me see. Okay, so you probably will see it like that if you don't have the document number on. You see every single transaction and every single payment. It's not recommended. If you turn on the document number on, yes, you can turn it off anytime, but I would use this to bypass it that there's a document number. So what the document number does, it separates each visit from each other. So really, this here is today's date in reverse. So this is 24, the year 24, November 19,000. And so that's almost a reverse serialized number for today's date. So that's what a document number is, almost like an encounter. So within the case, you have an encounter so it separates. So if I want to go see what happened on 11/27, I go there and I see the charge on 11/27 and the payment that happened on 11/27. So this is beautiful because one charge, one payment, it's easy to track. But if you see something like this, okay, other than it slows down your system, it's just a mess. How do you know which charge got paid? You don't know that. But here, I know there's one charge, one payment. I know if there's a balance. I know if it's applied, not applied, all of that. It's a lot easier to handle than seeing all your charges and all your payment. That was a limitation over 15 years ago, and that's been fixed a long time ago. So I hate to see anybody that doesn't have the document number turned on. Now, if you're going to turn it on, just don't do it you gotta alert to the people involved, because people call us and say, I lost everything in MEDISOFT. What do you mean I lost everything in MEDISOFT? I go to my account and I see nothing. I don't see transactions. So they forgot, somebody turned it on in the office and didn't tell other people, and the other people panics. So make sure you plan it and make sure you educate everybody in your practice before you turn it on.
We have one more so far. Will the cost estimator be set up in a similar manner as the eligibility, meaning can it be run automatically before the date of service?
Yes, but the way I vision it, the estimator to work, it has to be a CPT code that you're going to be putting on the estimator. So the estimator is not going to know if the eligibility verification, let's say you do eligibility a day before, and I go on and check everybody's coming tomorrow if their insurance is valid or not. But there's no way for the system to know what CPT codes you're going to be charging. So now the way I vision it to work, I haven't really seen it working yet. The way I vision it to work is you're going to perform a procedure for me, and that procedure is going to be whatever number it is and whatever diagnosis. It goes into the clearinghouse and kind of estimate what is the insurance is going to pay and what is the patient out of pocket going to be, and it's going to generate the good faith estimate in a statement. So I don't see it how it's going to be automated, because every person might be coming for a different CPT code. Now, if you tell me that your practice only do one CPT code, which is something I've seen before, then maybe that's different. But in most practices, they have different CPT code performed for the same patient or different patient.
Okay, I think we should be good to continue for now.
All right, Rosemary, again, have it back.
No problem. Can you just make me the presenter again? I'm going to try this one more time. I think I learned a thing or two about MEDISOFT today. So thank you for that. Document numbers, here I come. Awesome.
All right.
Fantastic. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, it's Rosemary Bright. I'm here with Vocida. I've had the pleasure to work alongside with Robert for a number of years, and now I am currently responsible for Vocida. Attached, or actually on the screen, is my contact information, so please jot it down. Feel free to reach out if you're interested in this amazing opportunity to automate and simplify the way patients book appointments. Our purpose, what do? We are here to simplify the way appointments are made. As a MEDISOFT customer, we have the ability to create an interface that simplifies and makes it easier for patients to book appointments online. Also, it gives you the opportunity to connect with new patients that are online searching for appointments. The world of healthcare is undergoing a big change, and now providers are focused on patient experience and patient satisfaction. Vocida providers can list availability, accepted insurance, location, and give that flexible appointment for patients. Why Vocida? So it was designed by a company that you trust, Microwize Technology. It's currently free for both patients and providers. We have a direct integration with MEDISOFT version 29 for all cloud customers or network professional customers. The integration makes it real easy. It's real-time availability on the website where patients can easily book appointments. We offer built-in telemedicine services. Everybody knows that COVID changed the way we practice medicine and providers practice medicine. And now telemedicine is an option that a lot of providers are utilizing to connect with patients and deliver care. We offer flexible scheduling options for patients. Again, you go on the website, you click on book now, and it's real-time availability, which is really great for patients. We help reduce the overall number of no-show appointments. One of the other built-in features available through Vocida is appointment reminders and confirmation. There's no longer the need for you to pay an outside service to get those appointments confirmed or to have a dedicated staff member. If you're utilizing Vocida with MEDISOFT, we can handle that for you. Confirmation happens on 3 different levels. Again, just for the sake of time, if anybody's interested, by all means, reach out. We'd love to give you a more one-on-one deep dive of the product. Reminders are also built in. And of course, it's a great revenue tool. We're simplifying not only the way patients make appointments, but we're giving your front office team tools that allow them to perhaps shift gears and do other things within the office that will generate more revenue, like following up on open statements and things of that nature. How does the interface work? Well, as I mentioned earlier, providers would have a profile on Vocida.com. Once you have open slots in MEDISOFT, that will automatically be displayed on the provider's website, and then they can book online directly through your site. What happens next in MEDISOFT? Once an appointment is booked online, the appointment status will be modified. It'll be listed on your calendar. The provider and staff will get an email notification, and on the screen is an example of what that appointment email notification looks like. It's really easy. Anyone that's booking online creates a quick profile. They put in their first name, last name, email, contact information, and that appointment becomes automatically booked, and it reflects in MEDISOFT. So my last slide here, again, we want to highlight what do we do, how we can help, and that's by creating more revenue for the office and allowing you to attract more patients, flexible online booking, reducing no-shows, linking Vocida to your website for easy scheduling. And we also help enhance your online reputation with verified patient reviews. Any patient seen through Vocida will automatically get a survey emailed to them or a text message survey asking 5 basic questions. We even ask questions about their experience in booking through Vocida. All that feedback is valuable information for Vocida and the providers that are listed. And of course, a little side note, it's also helpful for the next patient that goes on your platform looking to book an appointment. So reviews are extremely important through Vocida. Telemedicine, as I mentioned, if you're utilizing the built-in telemedicine solution, it makes it super easy for providers to connect. One less login to remember, and it's just simplified through the program. So if you're interested, by all means, feel free to reach out. The services are free until January of 2025. For all Microwize customers, we will handle the implementation, the setup. So if you're interested, by all means, feel free to reach out to the team.
What is, you're not going to show us the product live?
Well, I was not planning on doing that, but I do want to share something really exciting. We have a giveaway that we're currently promoting. So if you're interested, you can go to go.vocida.com/win, and you can actually get some more information about the giveaway. So here it is. Any patient that creates a profile on Vocida.com will automatically be entered for a chance to win a mini branded Cybertruck. And of course, they can book the next appointment online by utilizing our platform. So terms, conditions, all the information is online. We even have a video. So if you're interested, please check it out, sign up, and enter for a chance to win a mini Cybertruck. Any questions for Vocida?
Come up? Yeah. So I'm going to start with the Vocida specific, and then I'm going to go back to another one. We have, what is the cost of Vocida come January 2025?
All right, excellent question. So I'm still sharing my screen. If you go on Vocida.com, you can scroll to the bottom of the page and here's some sample pricing. Super easy. We offer Light, Pro, and Premium. And these are the monthly plans. So if you're working with a solo practice, a single provider, you're looking at $69 per month. That includes, your ability to list both in-person and telemedicine appointments, the built-in telemedicine feature. You can list multiple locations. And also, of course, all of the confirmation services are built in. And this would also include the interface with your MEDISOFT. So for any customers that are on MEDISOFT and they wish to continue using the service going forward, it would be $69 per month.
Now, this also cover your appointment confirmation and the patient survey. So even once you have the interface done, any appointment is done, regardless if it was a telemedicine or an office appointment, and regardless if it was you, the one who booked this, or the patient booked it from their website, the patient will get a survey and they will review you. And that's a great thing to see how the practice is doing. So that enhances your patient engagement and patient reputation.
Yeah, thanks for adding that, Robert. As you mentioned, it's just another great way to expand your online marketing footprint, connect with new patients, and also help the next patient that's looking for a healthcare provider read those reviews and make their next appointment.
Any other
Sorry,
questions?
Kim.
Okay. Yep. We also have, is Vocida something that is synced with the provider website?
Great question. So we do have the option to add like a hyperlink or a button in the provider's website where a patient can select book now, and then it automatically redirects them to the provider's profile for availability. So I want to show you an example of that. Just bear with me for a second. So here's an example of one of our providers that has it linked to their website. This is just for everybody online. This is the provider's profile. You can see there's information, the professional statement, the about section. We also link your website to the profile. So if you select visit the website, there it is. And then if you click on book online, it brings the patient back to the provider profile for them to complete their booking. And on the
So
left-hand side is a
If
list
the
of available.
patient- So the patient might be Googling an ENT in Paramus, New Jersey. So the patient might find the doctor website, and if the doctor website has book now, it will go to Vocida and book it. Or Vocida has its own effort to attract patient by maybe they found the Vocida website and they found an ENT, they can go to Vocida and book the doctor from Vocida. Now they don't have to go back to their website. So either or, from the website, they can go back to Vocida, or from Vocida, they can make the appointment, or they can go and check out the website of the doctor.
Is there any other questions?
Right. We had one more of a comment. I have read that Medicare will not be covering telehealth visits after December 31st, 24, except in rural areas. Do we have any info about that, or?
Something we'll have to get back to. I know that different states have different requirements. What state is this person in? New York. Okay, so if we can maybe get their information, I can certainly get back to them with some more information on telehealth and Medicare and policy changes. Thank you for that, Kim.
Is it available in Spanish for Spanish-speaking patients? I believe that's the website.
Thank you for that. So technically speaking, situation that I've encountered in the past with customers, with providers that want to attract Spanish patients, there's two ways we can go about it. If you speak Spanish in your practice, one of the filters that you can choose from is language spoken. So Spanish is an option. Furthermore, if you look at the provider's profile and you provide us with the text in Spanish, we can add that to the professional statement and the about section. So the top portion could be, as an example, the English version, and then below it can be Spanish, so that it could cater to the Spanish community. But filters is a great way to find providers that speak the language, so it makes it easier to connect.
Okay.
So here's an example
also,
on the
what if we
homepage,
can-
language
Oh,
spoken. Sorry, Kim.
That's okay. I didn't realize you were still going. Sorry.
It's the coffee. It's good in the office.
Are you still showing,
I'm
or do you
done.
want me to read
Yep.
the next?
No, I'm done. Next
okay.
question. Sorry.
What if patients need authorization referral to see us? Is there a way they can book appointments only if they have the paperwork ready?
So that's a great question. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to limit appointments if they need authorization. That's really something that when the staff sees the appointment come up on the calendar in MEDISOFT, the staff would need to manage that appointment accordingly. We're just simplifying the way the appointment is booked. We're giving patients options. They no longer have to call, wait on hold, or leave a message. They can go onto the provider's website, click on book now, and schedule that visit. What we can do is just to make it easy for the staff to identify appointments that were booked online, is that we can have them displayed in a unique color so that they know those came through the website, and then they would need to maybe give it a once over just to make sure that nothing else is required for that visit. Hopefully that answers the question.
Hey, it looks like that may be everything we had in the question.
Fantastic. So once again, I'm Rosemary. Thank you very much for the opportunity today. I'd love to connect with anyone that's interested on the line and give you a more detailed overview of the product and how the interface works. Just to recap, it's just a great way to offer patients an additional tool, eliminate or reduce the bottleneck around appointment making, and also allow your staff to shift gears and maybe help with other areas of the practice while we're using the technology for appointment reminders, confirmation, and telemedicine services. So thank you, Robert, for having me today and for the opportunity to connect with the MEDISOFT community.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your business. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Have a wonderful day.
Fantastic. Take care.
Bye.